No, I think, yeah, you'd have to reject this and either send it back to staff to try to negotiate something else, or, I mean, you know, the developer at some point can, you know, is entitled to a decision, and maybe it's a rejection, and he has the opportunity then to appeal to the utility review board, or try to negotiate something different and bring something back. So that would be sort of in his court if he rejected it.
That is correct? Yeah.
Yep.
Can I make a comment directly on this? Because
Yeah.
as you may imagine, we've put a lot of thought into this design. And it was designed specifically to fit in this particular site in Wolfville. We could have gone all the way from an extremely completely traditional building to, for example, the building that I'm putting up, or that we're working on, our next building is a completely square, modernist building in a different location. We chose we chose an approach that has two main aspects to it. One is that it respects the Nova Scotia vernacular. And that's why I think one comment was made earlier that it looks a bit like a barn. In some ways, it does. It was precisely designed to look essentially like a traditional Nova Scotia building with a pitched 12-12 roof. You can't build a 12-12 roof over a 70 or 100 long building. So the front part of it embodies that. The building also, though, is unquestionably a modern building. And so there's aspects of modernity in it that are not present in older style buildings. So for example, the overhangs are very minimal. It actually costs a lot of money to vent them when they just barely come over. It's much cheaper to bring them farther down. We could add gargoyles in there, we could add dormers, we could add all sorts of things. The whole point is the building has an aesthetic which is, it follows actually my love of Italian cooking. Now, I know it sounds crazy to equate buildings with Italian cooking. The Italians are masters at taking the most basic ingredients, only a handful of them, putting them together in dishes that are phenomenally subtle in their complexity. The complexity comes from the elegance of Italian cooking comes from the simplicity of putting 3 or 4 key ingredients. The French go the opposite. They take a whole bunch of stuff, mix it together, and come up with something spectacular, but you have no idea half the time what's in there, right?
Butter.
Butter. And cream. Yeah. So when I say we'll do some tweaks to the building, I would really hope, I would be very opposed to fundamentally altering what I think is the key part of the building, which is a tremendously simple approach. It's it's a subtle, elegant design that speaks to the past of Nova Scotia, our history, with primarily the peaked roofs that we have and the use of the natural materials, but also reaches to the future. That says this is a new building, this has units within it that are not traditional, 1,000 square foot units. And so when we saw the report, we took all the elements of it that were very positive. We shifted the driveway to the east side. We did a whole bunch of stuff. But I was not prepared to just stick dormers on there to make it look like a 100-year-old building. It's not a 100-year-old building. It's a brand new, elegant, modern building that speaks to the past and pushes us to, takes us to the future. I would really hope, I would, as Greg knows, I have been very flexible. I'm very open to anything to improve the building. I would think that would not be an improvement if we dramatically alter it. So in terms of the back part of the building facing forward, we haven't put again, I'm not expecting huge changes. I'm just expecting that we tweak the finishes and the materials. But to me, the elegance comes in that simplicity of the whole back and also the front.